All right. Thank you very much, everybody. Welcome. Happy afternoon. Welcome to the March 20th, 2025 meeting of the Sacramento Flood Control Agency Board of Directors. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Thank you. Director Desmond. Director Olmsted.
Here.
Director Hume.
Here.
Director Kennedy.
Here.
Director Rodriguez.
Here.
Director Cerna. Director Jennings.
Here.
Director Kaplan.
Here.
Director Pluckybon.
Here.
Director Holloway.
Present.
Director Johns.
Here.
Director Abdus.
I am here.
Director Perez. Director Stevens.
Here.
And Director Cerna has entered. Thank you. We have a full 13-member quorum.
Thank you. Will you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This meeting of Safca is being live streamed at metro14live.sapcounty.gov and will be recorded and re-aired on Saturday, March 22nd at 3 p.m. Members of the audience who would like to address the board should please identify yourself for the record and limit your comments to 3 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you very much. With that, next item, please, public comments. I believe we do have one. Is it Joe O'Connor?
Yes.
All right.
Okay, I'm Joe O'Connor. I'm here to speak to about the Army Corps of Engineers.
And Joe, just so you know, this week is the perfect time for Joe O'Connor to be coming visiting us. Thank you.
All right. Anyway, I'm here to speak about Army Corps of Engineers Contract 3B, which is on the Lower American River in the Parkway. I'm a member of the Lower American River Task Force, the Bank Protection Working Group, and Parkway Coalition. By way of background, I'm from New Orleans. I have family and friends there, and everyone remembers Hurricane Katrina in August 2005. Flooded the whole area, wind damage, water damage, but the big thing was flooding. Within days of being allowed to return, my brother died in the aftermath while trying to repair his home. After the funeral, I stayed to tour the whole area, the whole city, all downriver, the Mississippi coast, and so forth. What I saw is hard to describe, and I'm not going to try to. Everyone I knew had flood damage. I am well versed in what a flood can do, and I don't want one for Sacramento. Back to Contract 3B, which is flood protection between Howe Avenue and Mayhew Drain. I'm not here to criticize the Corps' flood control plan. It provides flood protection while limiting damage to the parkway. That being said, it does do a great deal of damage to the parkway, including wildlife habitat damage. People are very upset with the plan. It calls for the removal of like 685 trees and a great deal of other vegetation and long reaches of rock on levee faces and bank protection, which means it'll never return to its present condition. I want to make a suggestion and try to gain support before moving ahead. Let's have something like a peer review before we do this. Let's reform the Technical Resource and Advisory Committee, which is a subcommittee of the Bank Protection Working Group, of which I'm a member, and add a few members that have other ideas about what can be done to protect banks from eroding. Let's have in-person meetings only, no Zoom meetings. All the data is there. It's been collected over the years. I was there, I watched it. I would add to add some more borings along this particular stretch of flood protection. Borings in the ground to determine exactly where erosion is unlikely to occur.
Mr. O'Connor, could you wrap up?
I am.
Thank you.
This is no criticism. It's a normal course of business. I work for Lockheed Missiles and Space Company. We had peer reviews. This was a normal course of business. Sometimes there were improvements, sometimes not. Considering the damage that's about to be done, it's worth a second look. Can we gain the same level of flood protection with less damage? It would greatly satisfy the public. My handout, which I suppose has been handed out to you,
Thank you.
is a copy of what I presented to the environmental impact report a year ago. So
Thank
it
you,
makes
sir.
the case.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
And as you know, this is not an agendized item, so we can't comment, but we appreciate you coming down, and I'll follow up with staff.
Okay.
Thank you. Any others?
I have not received any other requests.
Okay, then we will recess into closed session. We will come back to order. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Thank you. Director Olmsted? Present. Director Hume?
Here.
Director Kennedy?
Here.
Chairman Rodriguez?
Here.
Director Cerna?
Here.
Director Jennings?
I'm sorry.
You're here, Jenny.
Director Kaplan?
Here then.
Director Pluckybon? Director Holloway?
Present.
Director Johns? Director Avidas? Director Perez?
Present.
And Director Stevens?
Here.
We have a 13-member quorum.
Okay, so as there was no final action in closed session, there's nothing to report out other than the Eagles won the Super Bowl. Next item, please.
Thank you. Consent matters 1 through 5 are in order.
Is there a motion?
I'll move the items. I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Next item, please.
Thank you. The Executive Director's Report.
All right. Good afternoon, members of the board. Just a real short report today. So the federal fiscal year starts October. So the federal fiscal year for 25 was last October 2024. So we're almost halfway through. Congress never was able to pass the appropriation bills, but they did pass a continuing resolution for the rest of the year. And it was based on the FY 2024 funding level, but for the Corps of Engineers, they directed the Corps to cut that funding level by $1.4 billion for its construction projects, and directed the Corps to, within 60 days, submit a work plan as to how they're going to do that. We've only got 2 of our projects that receive annual funding, both the Thomas and our study. The Corps headquarters has indicated they're going to try to beat the 60 days, but we won't know the exact numbers for FY25 for either of those, probably for another month or 2. But whatever they are, we're in good shape. We'll be able to continue moving forward on both those. But at least the federal government's funded for the rest of the year. So last month, I talked a little bit about at Folsom Dam that they had to fix the corbels there so that they could put the stop logs in place. So that all got done, and this is a picture of them installing the stop logs on Gate 8. They're all linked together there, and then you can see that they're in place there. So Gate 8 is our proof of concept, and that's the one where they're going to do that one first so that they can see all the things we don't know and then and figure them all out. So in this particular one, this picture, there will be some leakage, and they do have some dewatering. And then this one, they're setting up the equipment to shore up the gates, and then they'll also be, there we go. They'll also be starting to build the scaffolding that will allow them to reach the gates and take them apart. So I just wanted to share those pictures a little bit. And then up on Dike 1, the upper left-hand corner, they're putting geomembrane down, and then the lower right, they're putting the aggregate base on so they can install the road. On Dike 1's almost done. And then on Dike 6, the excavation, they're excavating the footings for the flood wall. These are grout pipes that were from about a decade ago when they did some repairs in the foundation, improved the grout cutoff down there. And so they had to expose those and then cut them off. In the upper left-hand picture, you can see it's getting prepared for the flood wall. And then finally, the last thing is we'll be in Washington, D.C. first week in April. And so there'll be no executive committee meeting that day. So that's all I had, unless there's any questions.
Any questions? Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Next item, please.
Next item is separate matters. Item 7, resolution number 2025-024, Board of Directors, Finance and Policy Committees, annual appointments.
Okay. I believe that we need one more member, and Director Johns, congratulations. Next.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? All right.
Congratulations.
We are adjourned.
I know you were going that. All right.